Today we're going to go step by step and draw a jellyfish.
For today's craft, all you're going to need is a pencil. I'm using scissors because I want to cut my piece of paper. You're going to need some paper and something to color with. Crayons or pencil crayons are perfect. Now, the reason I use scissors today is because I am going to take my piece of paper and I'm actually going to make this smaller. So you can decide. You can use this whole piece of paper for your craft today, or you can make it to a tiny little piece of paper. You could make it even larger. So really you want to decide how big you want to draw your picture today. So with my piece of paper, I want my long side left to right, my short side top to bottom, and all I'm going to do is fold it over. And when I fold that over, it's going to create this crease, this little cut line, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out. Like I said, you don't have to do this. You can just use the piece of paper that you have. It's completely up to you. And then I'm going to take this and use it for something else, and I'm going to move everything out of my way here just so that it makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Next, I'm going to take my pencil. I'm going to take my piece of paper, and I want it to be nice and long in front of me, so I don't have it this way. So I have now the long side top to bottom, short side left to right, and I am going to draw. The very first thing I like to do is I want to make sure I'm taking up my whole page up here when I'm drawing. I don't want to draw a tiny little picture. I want to make sure it's taking up this whole space. So I'm going to start at the top of my page. So I'm going to take my pencil and I put a little dot right here at the top of my page just to help keep me focused. And I'm going to, with that dot, curve a line over and down. So almost like this dot would be underneath. And you can see I'm a little bit sideways. You could do yours straight. I have mine a little bit curved. And then I'm going to go back to that dot and I'm going to draw another curved line over and meet down to this one. Okay, then we're going to go back to that dot. This time, I'm going to draw a curved line that comes up. It's going to leave some space, so it's going to come up, around. I'm not going to come right to this bottom part now. I'm just going to come in a little bit. So here's the bottom part. I just came in a little bit. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to come up, around, and in a little bit. I'm going to do that one more time over here. So I'm going to come up and around and in. So on the left, I go up, around and in, and on the right, up, around and in. There we go. Then I'm just going to draw a little smile here. So I'm going to do a curved line and a little curved line on each side. I'm going to draw an eyeball, and then for my second one, I'm just going to go right to just below the top where I started and curve around and in. So I'm having my eyeballs overlap, but you don't have to. I'm putting some pupils in the middle. There we go. And then I am going to go to the bottom. So here, this curved line to the left, sorry. Here I have a little bit of space at the bottom. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to put my pencil there. And all I'm doing is curving out and in and out and in and out. And then when I near the bottom, I don't have any more space. I'm going to stop and come up and mimic that. Means I'm going to do the same thing but leaving a space inside. So I'm doing the same thing, but you can see here there's a little space inside. This is what I mean by inside, right there. And then I'm going to jump over and I'm going to do another one. It doesn't have to look exactly the same, but I'm just going to curve. And it's going to go all the way to the bottom again. And then it's going to curve, and I'm just going to copy and go up. And then I'm going to do another one because I have space. Curving. So, sorry, I jumped over again here. Curving, curving, curving. This one's looking a little bit different, and that's okay. And then I think I have space for one more, so I'm going to jump over, do the same thing, just curving back and forth. You can even have this one coming this way. And there we go. Now what I like to do before I do any type of coloring is I like to go over it with my black marker. If you are using a black pencil crayon or crayon, I would suggest if it's a pencil crayon, you can also trace. If it is a crayon, I would wait and do it at the very end, just because that black can run. So all I do is I go over it and I am going to trace all those pencil lines that I just created. And then I'm also going to put my little pupil on the inside of my eyes. So go ahead if you are joining me in this step. Now I am ready to color. Now you could just go ahead and color. I do like to add a little bit of interest to mine just by creating a darker color here on the outside and then making it a little bit lighter. So whatever colors you're going to use, I'll just show you what I do, but you can choose whatever you would like. So I'm going to use green here for the middle. So I'm going to take my green and I'm going to push quite hard on my crayons when I'm doing almost like a little border. So I like to push down and give that crayon color, or if you're using a pencil crayon, you could do that, a nice deep color. Just makes it a little bit deeper and it makes it pop. And then on the inside, I like to just be a little bit gentler and I go over top of it, just leaving my eyes there and not pushing as hard. So get a different color there. And then I'm going to choose whatever colors I would like to use. I'm going to do the same thing for all of my spaces here, and then I'm going to I think I'm going to probably trace the color around for this one as well and do the same thing, and then I'm going to color that. So join me and let's start coloring, choosing whatever colors you would like. Okay, as I'm coloring here, if yours are a little bit thinner than mine, you might find that you can't do this little border around the outside, and you could just trace like a dark line just once around the outside and then color, or you could just leave it as is and just color normally. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever look you like. I have a little bit of extra space, so I think I'm going to try to just cover the inside here with a little bit darker. You can see underneath my workspace here, I've got little marks that are coming through. And you can also see it's a little bit harder depending on what color you're using, so it's hard to see with the yellow. There's no right or wrong. You get to be super creative, so go ahead and color any way you would like. And there we have it, all ready to roll. If you like this craft, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining me on Craft Club for Kids. Remember, be creative and have fun.